Hi, my name is Jeff Calkins. I'm doing this presentation as part of a 5-day lesson plan for a English language arts classroom. We are looking at the symbolism found in Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Today specifically would be day 3, where we get the project started. Currently we're located in my living room because this is the only spot that I am able to use and have access to. So we're going to get started, and this lesson begins after having already watched the last part of the film, Heart of Darkness. Alright, well I hope everyone enjoyed that movie. I know I did. We've been spending the last 2 days looking at Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. We've been looking at the themes, the motifs, the repetition, the meaning behind what he might be saying. Specifically, we've been looking at symbolism. So let's review. What is symbolism? Okay, it's something that stands for something else. Alright, so we're going to define symbolism as a person, a place, an object, a color, a thing that stands for an abstract idea. Alright, who can think of modern examples of symbolism? Or it's just symbols. What do you got? Okay, stop signs obviously means stop. Traffic lights, okay, you've got your go, stop, slow down. It's there to keep us safe. Alright, so how about smiley faces? Usually mean happiness. Four-leaf clovers usually mean the Irish, or stand for the Irish, or good luck. Yin and yang, the balance between good and evil. Alright, I want everybody to take out their little pieces of paper. I want you to write down those things that stand out in Conrad's Heart of Darkness that you think might be symbols. You're allowed to use your notes, you're allowed to use what you've seen in the video, what you've read in the book. Go ahead, take a second, write down as much as you can, and we'll go over what it might stand for in just a minute. Go ahead. Alright, what did we come up with? Okay, so the reference to El Dorado being what? Okay, so El Dorado being that famed city of gold. People were trying to find it, a lot of people died. You know what, El Dorado, it having to do with gold and money, can stand for imperialism, and what Joseph Conrad thought imperialism stood for, and specifically the failings of imperialism. Okay, what else? Okay, there's a reference to a whited sepulcher. You know, that's a reference to the Bible, the book of Matthew, where we're talking about the whitewashed sepulcher, where it looks so pretty and pristine on the outside, but inside it's dirty, it's dank, it's full of dead man's bones. Okay. Alright, so how about women? Women in Heart of Darkness stood for the purity of man, the potential for goodness. And this especially becomes important after the two men in our book see all the darkness, the evil. Women become a huge icon. Okay? But not just women. What do we see women doing? Alright, there's some walking around, there's some, okay, carrying lumber, you have the women from Africa. Okay, well how about specifically the knitting women? So these women can stand for the fates of Greek mythology. Who knows who the fates are? Exactly, they're the ones who spun the thread, measured the thread, cut the thread of life. And each man's life was a thread that they had a part in. So Conrad is using all of these old works and referencing these old works because he knows that his audience is going to understand this. And so he's making an even bigger point by incorporating these characters into his work. Alright, we also have ivory. Ivory being the physical symbol of greed that is just pervasive in the Europeans. It's the runaway greed that he sees in his era. The Europeans in his book are symbolizing the Europeans in real life. He is, or even mankind, and it's just this runaway greed, because everybody's looking for the ivory. Everybody wants the ivory. People are doing bad things for the ivory. Is the physical symbol. Okay. So other symbols in Heart of Darkness can be light and dark. stand for evil, madness, depravity. We've got the Congo River. If you look out, it looks like a snake. Now, if we're going back to our biblical reference, a snake might mean what? No, it's not the bronze snake. Okay, that's a good guess though. But, okay, so it stands for like the devil. You know, the devil, the snake in the Garden of Eden can stand for evil, temptation. You also have Kurtz's painting. Does anybody remember what is on Kurtz's painting? Okay, I mean, it's a woman, but what kind of woman? Alright, it's Lady Justice. Question. Was the painting vibrant? Was it new? Was it gorgeous? Was it... No, okay, so what did it look like? Alright, so it was faded, it was run down. So if the painting is of Lady Justice, and the painting is run down, what does this give you an idea of? I mean, if you put them together, Conrad's pretty much saying that Africa, this area that the main character is in, is characterized by a failed sense of justice. The painting is not taken care of, morals are not being taken care of. Lady Justice is faded, justice is faded in Africa. Okay, so we've been looking at symbolism. In order to find symbolism, we need to look at the context around it. Just like Kurtz's painting, we need to look at those descriptor words, and then we can make our assumptions off those descriptor words. Now, getting into our project, before we start, I want everybody to split off into groups of 4. Yep, just use the people around you. It's okay. Everybody's going to be taking a part. Okay, good. Group. Okay, awesome. So, in your groups of 4, what we're doing is you guys are going to come up with 3 images that you see in Conrad's Heart of Darkness. We've gone over some today, yesterday, day before. Come up with those 3 images, and you're going to tell me what they are, what they mean. Are there any modern day references? And can you derive any life lessons from it? So every group is going to answer those questions. On Friday, you're going to come up and do a 10-minute presentation of what you think it means, what it is, what do you think it means, modern day references, and any life lessons that can be drawn from it. So, okay, do we have any questions? No? Okay, by the end of today, I want us all to have, like, every group needs to come up to me and say, these are the images we're using, this is what we think it means, this is the route we want to go. Now, for these presentations, you're allowed to use PowerPoint, you're allowed to use poster board, you can videotape it with your cell phones, whatever you want, and maybe even make a newscast of it, or make a short film, I don't care. Be creative, do what you want. But it should be no longer than 10 to 15 minutes, and you have to cite, have to use at least 3 sources to back up your assertions. So if you're saying, I think that light and dark stand for good and evil, come up with 3 scholarly references that back that up. All right, now, places to find scholarly references, you can use bookspot.com. You find some kind of literary analysis. This is a literary analysis website. Use that. Just type in Conrad, Heart of Darkness, what it might mean, something. It'll give you articles or journals or something that'll back it up. Also, we go to school. Our school has a cool, nifty library website. It has articles and journals and books and reviews of places that you can find resources to back up your assertions. So by the end of today, you need to have images. What do you think it means? End of tomorrow, you need to have resources, and you're going to turn those in by the end of the day. Now let me give you an example of what I think it might mean, or what I am looking for. So Monday, we were talking about Osmandius Rex, Heart Osmundius Rex by Percy Shelley. And it's a traveler. He is just out there. He's in the desert. He comes upon these big stone legs, and off in the distance is a big stone face. So the image that we have is a just complete wasteland. There's nothing but a broken statue. So that is our image. Now what it means is that greed and pride do not last. So if we look at the inscription at the base of those legs, it says many things, but overall it says that my name is Osmundius, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty in despair. If we back up, the poem says that the face of that broken statue was a shattered visage, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. So we see that this guy that the statue was made for was not a very nice guy. We look at the inscription. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. So we can already tell that he's full of himself. He thought he was great. He thought he was grand. We look at the very next sentence after the inscription. Nothing beside remains. So we look at the imagery. We look at the contrasts from both of those. We put them together. We can find the meaning. This guy who was full of himself, who thought his kingdom would last for millennia, nothing beside remains. His greed, his pride do not last. Our greed, our pride will not last. Now, modern day, we can look at ISIS, Islamic State, over there in the Middle East, wanted to create their own caliphate, and it was either their way or death. There was no two ways around it, nothing else. Well, they created all sorts of terror, just like Osmundius. Look on my works, ye mighty in despair. But look at them now. They have been defeated. People rallied against them because they were killing everyone that disagreed with them. It's the same thing. They were saying, look on my works in despair. But now none of it remains. Greed and pride do not last. Now, life lesson. What does last? Pay it forward. Pay it forward means doing good things, doing good works, making a difference in other people's lives, and inspiring them to continue on with that work. So if I inspire Matt, Becky, Jeremiah, if I inspire them three and do something in their lives that makes a difference, and say, hey, go do this to 3 more people, and we got 3 more people, well, now they've affected 9 people. And if those 9 affect 3 people, they affect 27 people. And if they affect 3 people, we have even more people. So starting with me and just that 3, and then that 9, and that 27, we keep getting more and more people paying it forward. Now, an example of this, Private Desmond Doss, the last U.S. conscientious objector from World War I, said he would never fire a shot, he would never kill an enemy, and he didn't. He was the last one to ever do so, but he made such a difference on people's lives. Not that he was trying to, not that he said, look on my works, everyone. Not that he said, look at me. But October 1945, he received the Medal of Honor because when his legs stopped working, when his body was filled with shrapnel, he kept treating other people's wounds because he wanted to make a difference in their lives. And then they could then go home at the end of the war. They could make a difference in the lives of those around him. He made such a difference that his unit would not go into battle without him. If he didn't, they didn't. No matter who gave the order. If the president gave the order, it didn't matter. If he didn't, they didn't. So instead of saying, look at me, I'm so great, he was like, here's what I can do for you. That's paying it forward. So that is taking an image, using the context, what it might mean, making your modern day connection, and then what you can do. So, in your groups, you're already there, split off, find your 3 images, come up to me by the end of today with your images, what it might mean. I'll give you the yay or the nay, and we'll go from there. And then after that, you guys can go and do your research. Any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, gripes, moans? No? All right, go ahead.